There are people who change the world. And then there is Elon Musk. His story is not just about rockets and electric cars. It is a story about a quiet boy who was told he would never fit in, but who dreamed so big that he changed the future for all of us. This is the incredible life story of Elon Musk, told for English learners who want to be inspired. Our story begins in Pretoria, South Africa, in 1971. Elon was not a typical child. While other boys played outside, he preferred to stay inside with his nose buried in a book. He read science fiction and fantasy, dreaming of faraway galaxies and impossible inventions. But his childhood was not easy. His parents divorced when he was only 9 years old, and he lived mostly with his father. It was a lonely time. School was even harder. Elon was small, quiet, and very smart. In South Africa at that time, being different was dangerous. The other boys bullied him badly. He was pushed downstairs, beaten up, and left feeling isolated. For many children, this would have broken their spirit. But Elon found his escape in two things: books and computers. When he was 10 years old, something magical happened. He got his first computer. It was a Commodore VC-20, a simple machine by today's standards. But to young Elon, it was a universe of possibilities. He taught himself computer programming from a manual. It took him 3 days to finish the book. By the time school started again, he was ready to create. At just 12 years old, he wrote a video game called Blaster. It was a simple space game where you had to destroy alien ships. He sold it to a computer magazine for $500. This was his first taste of creating something from nothing. But South Africa was too small for his dreams. At 17, he made a brave decision. He left his family and moved to Canada alone. He shoveled dirt in a lumber mill for $18 an hour. It was hard, physical work for a boy who had spent his life reading books. But he did not complain. He knew this was just the first step. Eventually, he earned a scholarship to study at the University of Pennsylvania in the United States. He studied physics and business, two subjects that seem very different but would later combine perfectly in his work. He was already thinking about the big questions. What would most affect the future of humanity? He came up with 3 answers: the internet, sustainable energy, and making life multiplanetary. After university, he had to start somewhere. With his brother Kimball, he started his first company. It was called Zip2. Imagine a digital map and business directory before Google Maps existed. That was Zip2. They worked in a small office, and sometimes Elon would sleep there because he could not afford an apartment. He would shower at a local charity and keep working. In 1999, they sold the company for over $300 million. Elon was only 27 years old, and he had just made $22 million from the sale. But he was just getting started. He had a new idea. What if banking could be done entirely online? He started a company called X.com. It was risky. Online banking was new and people did not trust it. But Elon believed in the future. Eventually, X.com merged with another company and became something you might recognize: PayPal. In 2002, eBay bought PayPal for $1.5 billion. Elon's share was $180 million. Now he had money. Most people would retire. But Elon had a bigger dream. He had always loved space. He wanted to go to Mars. He tried to buy rockets from Russia, but the price was too high. On the flight home, he did some calculations. He realized he could build rockets himself for a fraction of the cost. Rocket science is incredibly hard. The first 3 launches all failed. The rockets exploded. The company was running out of money. People thought he was crazy. But Elon refused to give up. He invested his last remaining money into the 4th launch. If this one failed, SpaceX would be finished. The 4th launch worked. It was perfect. Hours later, NASA called. They wanted to give SpaceX a contract for $1.6 billion. Elon Musk had gone from the edge of failure to saving the American space program. But he was not done. Years earlier, he had invested in a small electric car company called Tesla. He saw that the car industry was stuck in the past. Cars were still using gasoline, polluting the planet. He joined Tesla as chairman and later became CEO. He pushed the company to build the world's best electric car. It was not easy. There were production problems, money problems, and people who said electric cars would never work. In 2008, both Tesla and SpaceX were almost bankrupt. Elon had to choose which one to save. He chose both. He put all his remaining money into the companies. He borrowed money from friends just to pay rent. It was the lowest point of his life. But he kept working. He slept on the factory floor. He answered emails at 3 in the morning. And slowly, things turned around. Tesla released the Model S, and it was beautiful. It won awards. It changed what people thought about electric cars. Today, Tesla is the most valuable car company in the world. Elon did not stop there. He started SolarCity to bring solar energy to homes. He started the Boring Company to dig tunnels for futuristic transport. He started Neuralink, a company trying to connect the human brain to computers. He helped start OpenAI to make sure artificial intelligence is developed safely. Each company attacks a different problem, but they all connect to his original vision. He has been married 3 times, twice to the same woman. He has 10 children. For his kids, he created a special school called Ad Astra, which means to the stars. There are no grades. Students learn by solving real problems. It is the kind of school Elon wishes he had attended. Despite being one of the richest people on Earth, he lives simply. He has sold almost all his houses. He often sleeps in a small room near the Tesla factory. He works 80 to 100 hours every week. He does not collect money for himself. He reinvests everything into his companies. For Elon, money is just fuel for the next mission. So what drives him? What keeps him going through all the failures, the criticism, the impossible deadlines? He has said it many times. He wants to make humans a multiplanetary species. He wants to build a city on Mars. He believes this is essential for our survival. If something terrible happens on Earth, we need a backup. We need to become a spacefaring civilization. This vision seems like science fiction. But so did electric cars 15 years ago. So did reusable rockets. So did paying for things with your phone. Elon Musk has a habit of turning science fiction into science fact. His story teaches us something important. You do not have to be the loudest person in the room. You do not have to fit in. You do not have to be popular. You just have to believe in something bigger than yourself. You have to be willing to fail and fail again and keep going. You have to read the books, learn the code, and do the work. As Elon himself once said, when something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in South Africa grew up to change the world. His journey is not finished. The rockets are still launching. The cars are still rolling off the production line. The tunnels are still being dug. And somewhere, in a factory or a launch pad, Elon Musk is still working, still dreaming, still reaching for the stars. Thank you for learning English with this story. What dream will you pursue? Write it in the comments. And remember, nothing is impossible for those who dare to dream.